What's going on, guys? I'm Fuller of Custom Offsets TV on YouTube, and today I'm quite excited because I'm actually going to be roasting some of our own trucks. So today we're roasting Custom Offsets rides, and basically these are all of my coworkers, and I guess one of them is going to be my boss, so we'll see how well this goes. But we're going to pull up the pictures, I'm going to look at them, and basically roast these guys' trucks. And I can be a little more harsh because, you know, it's Custom Offsets builds, so we're allowed to do that, you know, rather than somebody else. So first one we're looking at, this is actually from Bailey. I'll get this pulled up here. He's the social media rep for Archon. So naturally, of course, he runs Archons, which makes perfect sense. And you can see that he's got quite a bit going on with the truck here. So recently, a few things have changed from the photos I'm looking at, but I know he's got new headlights. I think that's probably the biggest notable change. And those are actually pretty sweet, but they are like super expensive. So we got that going on for us. And then you're gonna also see he's running a Superlift kit and he's got Kings. And pretty much Bailey's response to everybody, anytime somebody says anything bad about his truck, is, well, it's got Kings. And to some extent, I kind of agree with him because King obviously makes some really good coilovers and really good shocks. But this thing, the truck itself, you know, Bailey put thousands and thousands of dollars into the lift kit, wheels, and tires. But the truck itself could probably use a couple $1,000s too. The door paint on the driver's side is literally like separated and peeling like I have never seen anything peel before. I don't know if it was already repaired once and the Bondo is just like peeling back from the metal, but it's in a little bit of what I would call rough condition. So maybe we should focus a little bit on making the truck itself nice before we spend a whole bunch of money on wheels, tires, and suspension. But, you know, we get to pick on Bailey because we can. Next, this is one that you've probably seen before. So this is the 2017 Toyota Tacoma that Branded Title built, and then Sean actually bought this truck from them to use as like a hunting rig, basically. But here's the deal. They went out and built this Tacoma, okay, and they got the RK Sport wide body over fender, pre-runner style fenders, whatever you want to call them, whatever name you want. But then they're running just a basic rough country suspension. With nothing against rough country suspension, they actually make some pretty good stuff. But when you have a pre-runner style fender, you would think that you would at least have mid-travel suspension. I said if they're gonna build a truck like that and they want it to look like this off-road beast, they need to actually do some off-roading with it, and they need to get a real, you know, true off-road mid to long travel suspension system underneath there, not just a regular lift kit. You got the ADD bumper, which looks great, and everything else on the truck. You know, tire size and wheel-wise, 17x9s, 315/70s, great combo there as far as a functional size for an off-road truck. But there were a lot of things that when Branded Title was first building it, they didn't necessarily pay attention to, and so ended up with some rubbing issues. So now you've got this off-road truck that's not necessarily off-road capable. I mean, it's plenty capable. You can do a lot with this truck, but it's not as capable as you might think when you're just looking at it. So that's that. This is one that you might not have seen yet. This is a build that just got finished up. This is Nick works in customer service. And it's absolutely massive, and it's huge, and it looks great. I will give you that. So he's got 24x14, -81, 8-lug wheels, okay, on his 6-lug F-150. He's running, I believe, 2-inch adapters on there. So only maybe 1 lug of the tire is actually underneath the truck. It's so wide that it's almost undrivable. You have to make a 40-point turn to get into any driveway, but that's part of lifted life, so we kind of get that. And then what really threw me off is he actually put on new Super Duty tow mirrors, and whether you love it or hate it, I don't know, that's up to you. I think it was just very different. I hadn't seen people do that before, but he went ahead and did it. And the other thing is this lift kit setup is like, I think 3 or 4 different brands. It's McGoy's, and then he's got Icon upper control arms, Bilstein leveling struts, 2-inch ready lift add-a-leaf, but the base kit is just a 6.5 McGoy's kit. So there's a lot going on, this Frankenstein of a lift kit to make this truck, and it does look absolutely huge. So I guess we accomplished what we were going for there, but just by piecing a whole bunch of stuff together. The other thing is, this is platinum, but what you can't tell by looking at the photos is it has like 240,000 miles on it or something like that. Absolutely crazy high miles. Last but not least, we have another one of Sean's vehicles. This one you've seen before. This is the 19 F-250, basically Sean's daily driver truck. and it's got some custom powder-coated Archon Triumphs on it, and it's on stock suspension. So I feel like people are probably going to give him crap because, you know, if you own custom offsets but you drive a truck with stock suspension, granted he has a couple other vehicles too that are modified, but still, stock suspension? I can't talk really, I have stock suspension in my truck too. But this truck looks really great also from a distance, but if you get up close, I think we went a little bit overboard when it comes to the color matching, because you've heard of 50 Shades of Gray. Well, this is 50 Shades of White. Maybe not quite that bad, but the bumpers and everything don't match perfectly. But honestly, most people aren't going to ever notice. But if you're as OCD as I am, you really pay attention to things like color, and it bothers me. But it doesn't bother most people. There's also a whole bunch of trimming done on the bumper. Again, something that I'm comfortable with. I had to cut my truck up a whole bunch, but some people are like, oh my God, how can you take a brand new truck and just cut, you know, 6 inches off of the bumper? But if you want to run wide wheels, you know, 14 wides and 355 40s, it's kind of what it takes. So that's that. Otherwise, honestly, I don't have a lot to complain about this truck. It's a very good looking truck. I think maybe just a little bit overboard with the white, and I absolutely hate that the Ford logos are just painted over solid white. I would at least, you know, make the Ford text bronze to match the wheels, or maybe black. You know, there's some other black on the truck just by having dark window tint, and you know, like the inside, that front bumper area is black. Not like you had to do anything to get it like that, it just comes like that. But I think something else to break up those Ford logos, especially on the back. It's just solid white, and you can see the emblem where you know it says Ford, but you can't see it actually say Ford because it just all got painted right over. So that is roasting the custom offsets rides. Let us know which trucks you want us to roast next, because there's a couple more in the fleet, or if you agree or disagree with me or whatever, you can drop the comments down below. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.